Today is Thursday, October the 24th, 2024. Welcome to episode 119 of Rural Reliance with the Canny Couple. I'm Julia.
And I'm Aaron.
We're a small homestead family in rural Virginia that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And frugality is one of the things that we as a couple embraced.
It is.
And one of the things that we learned how to do through the years is, and it's probably been one of our biggest frugality struggles, is learning to budget around the holidays.
And this is one that's taken us many years to perfect.
Yes. Now, that doesn't mean we haven't saved money, but tracking it, keeping up with it and everything, that has been a bit of a struggle for us. But we've kind of found our rhythm in this, and we want to help you and give you some tips to help you save as much money as you can because the holidays are almost here.
Yep. So right now is a great time to talk about it before you start seeing, maybe some major sales, or to think about it coming up into sales.
So you can start getting ready now.
Yeah.
So we do know a lot of people might celebrate a few holidays. They might celebrate all the holidays. They might celebrate none.
Right.
These tips can help you anyway. You can pull out, pick apart what you need.
It can be even if you celebrate for birthdays. We use the same strategy.
Absolutely. Any holiday, any birthday, anything. So I guess let's talk about where you think we've done the worst for holidays, budgeting and spending. How we did the worst managing this.
Well, a lot of times we would forget what we even have bought for somebody. So we put it up in this one storage area, and we didn't have a list somewhere. We weren't tracking to make sure.
We didn't have a good storage area either.
Like, here's a great example of just how bad our memories are of what we've gotten somebody to. Last year, I got one of my best friends.
His memory, not our memory. His memory.
I got one of my best friends the exact same Christmas present 2 years in a row.
This was his memory, not mine. No, this was not me.
Hey, but it was a good idea.
I'm responsible for the majority of the gifts we get.
You are.
That is the only one I don't take any ownership of.
That's true.
But I did help you this year for his gift, and you've forgotten where you got it.
Yep.
Okay, so we kind of broke this out into different sections. We did food, gifts, and decor, because these are the big places people spend money. So let's start with food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Food can get super expensive this time of the year, and I don't think the prices are going to go down.
Well, especially, too, if you're trying a new recipe.
Yeah.
If you're trying, to make it a few times before you actually give it to somebody.
Don't.
No.
Don't. Just keep simple. Keep it super simple.
Something you know how to make, something everybody likes. Don't try to, spend all that extra money trying to perfect something.
Yeah. If I have to make something for anything for Aaron's office anymore, I'm just going to make my pumpkin bread muffins because they're good. They are a hit.
And if there's leftovers,
we eat them.
The little one.
Well, you eat them too. But keep it really simple. All of it. What I like to do for my meals, I have the same basic meal plan. I might change a few items, and I do a little bit of something for Aaron, a little bit of something that I would like, a few things that the baby would like, and that's kind of what we have.
Yeah.
And then, of course, whatever protein we decide to have. It's usually turkey for us because we like turkey. A lot of families don't like turkey. I completely get that. Do something you like. Ham, chicken, whatever that is. But you want to make sure you're picking a cheaper cut of meat or you're catching it on sale. This is not the time I would be doing prime rib.
Totally agree.
I would not be doing beef right now. Too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't care how much family likes it. Pick a different cut of beef. Pick a different cut. Or wait till it's really deeply discounted and you can get it for a really good price.
Yeah.
It needs to be under $4 or $5 a pound. And that's really hard to come by. Now, we'll get turkey about probably 50 cents a pound.
Yes. So we usually have to buy $25 to $35 worth that food line to get one at that price. But we also do have one in the freezer if it's not on sale.
And what I will do is I will go and I will look at my list. And I will say, what do I need after I check the sale ads? And if I don't need to do anything, I'll get butter. told Aaron this time, I said, I'll just buy a whole bunch of butter and I will make ghee and I will have that put away. When we need it, we have it.
Right.
That's sort of my plan. Yeah. So build your plan. Keep a game plan. Look at what's in your pantry and try to plan what's more in your pantry, not at the grocery store. I did this last year. I don't think we had to buy very much at all for
a lot of what you canned, or a lot of what we had on hand already.
So do that. It really does help cut your prices down. You should have potatoes that you pulled out of your gardens, green beans, anything like that. Use that stuff up. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. You put it away to eat it. Don't go buy fresh. Use what you currently have on hand. I will do this over and over and over again for both meals. Right now I'm saving up breadcrumbs. Normally I would give our crust, the ends, the hills to the chickens. Nope. Going in the refrigerator, freezer for stuffing.
Hey.
So we like stuffing. We had enough celery that I'm going to get a couple soups out of it. Well, part of that soup is also for my stuffing. So I'll put away enough for stuffing for Christmas and stuffing for Thanksgiving.
Right.
And that's what works really well for me. So just kind of plan that out as you're looking at what you have in your pantry. This is a great time to organize your pantry if you haven't already done it.
And I did hear a couple of stores, I think it was Walmart, and I don't remember who the other one was. They're going to participate in the...
Isn't Aldi's doing
Maybe it's Aldi's that's going to participate in the pre-inflation Thanksgiving.
They've been doing that. I've not seen that many great deals from it.
Right, but, I mean,
some people in your area look.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to find, if nothing else, it's going to be cheaper than the current prices.
Treats, candies, all the fun stuff. Keep it simple. You don't need to make all the candies.
You don't need to make 10 or 15 types.
You don't. It's not worth the effort. It is not worth the effort.
And a lot of it goes to waste.
It does. It really does. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of effort and energy to make candy. I make 2. And some years I only make 1. And it's the one that is demanded of us.
You only need to make 1 this year.
Well, we've not had fudge in a while. She might like fudge.
Depends what day of the week.
Peanut butter balls is the necessity in my house. It's like, without question, does not matter. Yeah. That has to be made. They're not hard. It was the thing that I think really won Aaron's heart. It was when he decided he was for sure going to give it a ring on it.
Peanut butter balls.
I made peanut butter balls. It was done. I sealed the deal there. But peanut butter balls and fudge. I will make chocolate and peanut butter, and that's it. I won't make anything else candy-wise. It's just not worth the effort to me to make a whole bunch of candy.
We're talking about this for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're not talking about 2 different sets.
It's rationed.
It's rationed.
It seriously is. I make a big batch. It takes a lot of time, effort, and energy for making it. And I'm like, this is it. We are rationing it. And he gets like 1 big splurge. He can have as much as he wants a day. And then after that, it's 2 a day until they're all gone. And depending on how many she eats, it might be 1 a day. Well, last year we couldn't feed them to her. She loved them. But we also rationed her too. It's like, okay, you can't have all of the peanut butter balls. The sugar rush in a 3-year-old doesn't really work. But it will cut your costs down. It will cut your time in the kitchen down. I understand all the moms out there who want to make that special treat for their little ones and all of this.
You don't need it. They don't need it.
There's a practicality to this. Yeah. And you've got to think you've got enough to do. I feel like we make it so much harder on ourselves. Like we have presents to wrap, house to decorate, all this stuff to do. And now we're going to add making 10 different candies. And candy ingredients are not cheap. By any means. They are not cheap.
Especially the way chocolate has been increasing.
I just made Aaron, we just stockpiled up on some chocolate, and I'll be stockpiling up some more next month, just for the reason that we're worried chocolate prices are going to keep going up. Yeah,
like supposedly there's a shortage or something, right?
Yes. Yeah, they said there's a shortage of the cocoa beans, so chocolate prices are going to keep going up. I would also expect your sugar prices to keep going up, as well as anything else that you use, but definitely if you use chocolate chips, anything like that, all the fun things, like if you do pretzels, caramels, all of that's going to get more expensive. By this point in the year, I usually start to see sales on chocolate chips. I've not seen any.
We haven't seen it yet.
In our area.
Right. So that will probably mean, it would cost more this year to even make those special treats.
Those little treats that everybody loves. Even if you're doing them as gifts, I would look for like lower cost ones. Just to see if there's a way you can cut your prices down, especially if you're trying to stretch your dollars as far as you can.
Yeah.
Now, what I do to keep under budget is I will keep our meal prep for November, December super low key. Like, we ain't having anything fancy or special. It is going to be very basic, cheap meals. What this is going to do is going to allow me to use the bulk of my grocery budget for stockpiling items, getting those deals when I see them, and being able to really fill up my freezer. So if turkeys go on sale like they did at the end of the season last year for 49 cents, I can get a whole bunch of turkeys. And that's what we will be doing. Last year we got 2. This year I'll probably get 4 or 5. Yeah. I'll get the limit because we will eat that much turkey in our family.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of plan this out ahead of time. So I would go ahead and look at your pantry and say, okay, how many meals can I make that are super simple, super easy, and very cheap? Like spaghetti, rice and beans, if your family likes rice and beans. Mexican rice, that's a really good one that's a hit in our house all the time.
And if nothing else, it makes the week when you fix all that stuff even more special.
It does. And these are really easy. And the thing about the simple meals is if you put enough flavor into them and punch them up enough, your family's not going to know they're simple meals. Look at your freezer. Do a freezer clean out. Do all of these things and make room for those good meals.
I was going to say, you might need a freezer clean out, especially if I got turkeys on sale.
Right. I mean, this is a good time to do that. Just go through and really start cleaning that stuff up. But the pantry is key. So I would get your pantry organized, get it figured out, but also start those lists. Have them on your refrigerator. Tell everybody in your family, especially if they're responsible for grocery shopping or sales, like, this is what our plan is. Have a family plan. Make sure everybody agrees to it so you don't hear any fussing later, and this is what we go with. I don't have to worry about that. Aaron sort of leaves the cooking to me, and he's like, whatever you think is fine. Yeah. He's like, what are we having this week? Whenever I serve it to him. But keep it simple. I think that's probably the biggest advice here. What would you say?
I will say you don't need 12 side dishes either, Just pick out the favorites, Maybe each person gets one favorite one, something like that, to keep it simple.
I do potato salad.
For me.
Stuffing. I will do sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, a mac and cheese, and then another vegetable or 2. Yeah. And then we make pumpkin pies, and then the turkey. Yeah. That's about it. We keep it very simple, very low key. I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I don't want to have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking all this stuff up. Gifts. So this is where I feel like most people get the most pressure. Yeah. At this time of the year.
Yeah, it's just, you hear the other person or the kid say, I want this, so it sort of puts more pressure on, especially if you're on a tight budget.
Yes. So that's number 1. You have to have a budget. And everybody that you buy for, this is the budget that it is. And you got to stick to it. Right. You really do. We've been pretty good about this the past few years. Now, before, we would always go over on each other.
We would.
I mean, we would not follow it very well. But since we started paying the house off and everything, we've been very strict on our budget. And making sure we're sticking to it and being very thoughtful about the gifts that we give one another. The other thing that we do is we also have a Christmas Club account, a sinking fund, for our actual purchases. So when we need to buy something for Christmas, we already have the cash set aside.
So we put money into this. It's it's an automatic sinking fund. So it takes it out of this one checking account and puts it into this one savings account so much every month.
I set this up after my first Christmas working.
I mean, anything, we've got a sinking fund like that, we actually just do the moving ourselves. But since this one was set up, we've never changed it.
Yeah, we just increased it, I think, whenever. One time. And this allows me to spread out my Christmas shopping. Because if I see a good deal throughout the year for somebody that I think this is going to be a good Christmas gift for, I can go ahead and get this. Yep. Or if I hear somebody needs something, like, oh, well, this is a good Christmas gift for you, we'll get it for you as a Christmas gift. Yep. It really does help keep us on track and on budget. We also have a spreadsheet with any gifts that we buy, in, budgeted amounts, everything like that we keep, we both have access to. Right. And it helps as well. Yeah. It really does. It keeps us on point. Now, we might not be the best at trying to fill it in, but I try. I do try to remember to go in there, fill it in, or I make sure I get that information to Aaron in some way so he can go get it filled in. Mm-hmm. So he has it somewhere. And so we try to be very careful on that. The other thing that we do is that we see things that are deeply discounted, we will go ahead and buy them, put them in the spreadsheet, and hold them until the season. So this might be after Christmas. You can get those really good sales. Which
is a great time to go after Christmas, especially using the date. Well, we've seen the past few years, it's been the weeks after.
About a week after. I've gotten some decor items that way.
Yeah, I mean, stuff that's been, 60
that I wouldn't normally pay. I wouldn't normally pay 50% off for. If I see 90%, I'm more willing to look at it with a deeper.
Yeah, we got stuff past couple of years anywhere from 60 to 90% off afterwards.
I've also gotten some things for Christmas that I got at yard sales. Brand new, never used, super expensive stuff. 50 cents. Yep. It's like, there's a Christmas present for somebody. And it works. It really does. It works. But having a set place for all those items, and this isn't for your family items. This is for like people that you buy outside. Mm-hmm. Your family items, you got to get more creative because they live in your house too.
Are you saying we can't go to the yard sale together and you'd be like, I'm going to get that for him?
I'm talking like hiding in your house.
Okay.
We have found out that my hiding place that I used for the little one did not work very well. When she follows me into the closet, she's like, "Hey, mommy, I want that." Like, nope. Luckily, we have a short attention span, so we are able to easily distract. So we have to find a better hiding spot. And currently, right now, I have a cabinet that I use. It works really well for all of our gifts for outside of the household. And that has worked really well for me in this period. Mm. Gifts, I would say the hardest part for us was always tracking. It was always tracking.
It was, especially when you get something here or there. We do keep a spreadsheet, like we said, just for gifts so that we can look at it and say,
It's attached to our wish list. It is attached to our wish list, and that helps because if we had a separate one, I don't think we would ever touch it.
Yeah, so we do keep a Google Sheets with, so we do it this way. So, like something I want, for example, instead of just buying it for myself now or something like that, I'll put it on my wish list and I'll reorganize it by priority, a couple times a year and be like, okay, this is what I want. So when she's looking, especially like on Prime Days, anything like that, she can check to see if they are discounted off that normal price.
Absolutely. And we also put a gift list on Amazon. So if I see items that I think might be a good gift for somebody, I can throw it in there and put a name on it. That helped as well. That helped as well. It's not things that we have bought, but if we see an item that we think might be a good gift for somebody, we throw it on that wish list. It says gift items. Then we each have our own, that if we see something that we like, we throw it on there. But it does help. Yeah. Having it all together has been probably one of the most helpful things that we've done. Yard sales. Sales are probably the biggest things to look for. Prime Day, and this is where spreading it out can help. You can hit Prime Days, you can hit the Walmart days, Black Fridays, Target days, the beginning of the year sales, the after Christmas sales, all of this stuff. Yeah. There's so many sales, but you also have to know the process. So you got to know the process. You got to know if it's actually a good price or not.
Right. So that's where we use our Notion page to sort of track, stuff that we know we need to purchase, so we can put the price there so that we can actually see, oh, they didn't raise it by $10 to $15 just for this sale day, and the week before was actually lower. So you've got to look at stuff like that.
Homemade gifts are a great idea, but I will tell you, you got to watch your timing on this. You got to watch your time. Like, I understand if you're making a quilt for your grandbaby or something like that, that's a different story. But those are special. But if you're spending 10 hours in the kitchen to make all this stuff as gifts for her, I mean, I don't know how much it's worth it for me. I don't know. It just, I guess it depends on the amount of time and effort you want to put into something. For me, I don't have that.
I was going to say, your coworker Isabel?
My coworker now. I don't have the energy to put forth for that at the moment. I wouldn't. Like, if you wanted me to do that for you, I mean, I already told him the pumpkin chocolate chip muffins were a labor of love because I normally don't put them in muffin cups.
That is true.
I don't use muffin cups for a reason.
Too much work.
It's too much work. It's not. The cleanup alone makes muffin tin not worth it for me. I'll put it in a pie dish. And that works fine for our family. But for his event, he needed it in a muffin form. So just look at the amount of time you're actually spending on the homemade gifts. And also look at the cost you're putting into it. Because if you're using extremely expensive ingredients, I'm thinking candy nuts and things like that. Because nuts are super expensive.
Even at like the discount places.
Like you're talking $8. I mean, they keep going up $1 at least every year.
Yep.
It might not be worth it if you have to buy 10 pounds of nuts at $10 a pound.
Yep.
And plus the work you have to put in to finish it. So you have to calculate all of that when you're looking into this and see if it's really going to be worth it in the end and you trying to save money by making homemade gifts. Decor. Now, this is where we're probably going to get a bit controversial. Use what you got.
Don't need nothing new.
You don't buy anything until the end of the seasons.
Exactly. Never.
Ever. I'm serious. Don't buy anything until the end of the season.
If you see something you really want, you're there that morning right after Christmas to get it.
I wanted a new tree skirt.
Yep.
I wanted a prettier one. I did. I wanted a prettier one, and I told Aaron, it's like, okay. And I've replaced it now. I got the very first one. We had our very first Christmas tree. But we did buy then because Aaron didn't have anything. So we bought one then. We bought a cheapo one. Then I got another one. And then I decided I wanted a more like quilted or knitted one. I got it at the end of the season, 50% off. That's how I bought it. That's how I buy everything, just about.
Yeah. It's not worth paying the $30 to $40 on the decor stuff before the time.
As much time as it out. I put mine out early, so we have more time to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting yours out right after Thanksgiving, or you're doing from September to Thanksgiving, and then from Thanksgiving to Christmas, you don't have any time to enjoy any of the stuff you've put out. None.
So that's another reason to just wait after the holiday, get it cheaper.
Get it cheaper. I mean, really, unless there's something you absolutely adore, like one item, but don't go and spend $200 or $300. I was on the hunt for that pumpkin. I wanted a glass pumpkin. We would have gotten the glass pumpkin if I'd have found one that I liked. But we didn't. And I also couldn't bring myself to buy one. It was the cost. Gave me heart palpitations. That's another story for another day. But it really will save you more money if you just wait. It's not... You can make something, put something together. All of us have decorations in our home, probably more than we need. Most of us do. If you're new, starting out, I get it. You're just building yours up. Build it up slowly.
Yard sales. I don't know how many we've been to this year that's had Christmas and fall decorations out. And usually very cheap as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've looked at them. The only ones you're going to see that are really expensive are the ones that are like the collectors.
Right.
There was one we looked at. It was the Santa blow mold,
Mm-hmm.
and it was way too expensive.
Right.
It was way too expensive.
But I mean, even Halloween stuff, I've seen a lot of, stuff to hang outside, stuff like that. If you're looking for, it's a great place to get some of that. Some of it I've seen still brand new in box, package, etc.
There's no reason for you to have it this year, especially if you're buying it in the middle of the season. You're only going to get to look at it for like a week or two before it's time to take it down and put something else out. This is just our thought. Again, this might be a little controversial because a lot of people love their decorations. They love their Christmas trees. They love all of it. And they want to have it the new and current thing.
No.
The new and current thing is probably what you had on your Christmas tree 10 years ago. Or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
In our reality.
It's very true.
None of it really ever changes. You get
it
new
comes
items.
Back in cycles.
It does. It really does. So just have a few items here and there that you like that are tasteful and suit your style. I don't decorate for any style but my own. I decorate with what we like to look at and what we like, and that's kind of how we do anything. And easy to clean and doesn't take up a lot of space.
Yep.
Those are my rules.
Yeah. That's very true.
It is. It's easy to clean. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I don't have to worry about tripping over it, hitting it, breaking it, knocking it down. None of that stuff, because if it's breakable or anything like that, I'm not worried about the baby. I'm worried about me.
Me too.
Catching it and knocking it down. I mean, there's real reasons for that. So we decorate for ourselves. We don't decorate for anybody else. We didn't update our house for anybody else but us. We did it to our taste. And that's kind of how we look at the holidays as well. I keep my meal plan simple. I keep my decorations simple. And I try to keep our gifting as simple as possible because it just really does make life a lot easier.
It does.
So where do you think we've been doing the best on our budgeted holiday spending?
I will say it has been gifts when we spread it out over the year, because we're not trying to buy everybody's gifts in October, November. We're usually not a December gift buying family,
No.
but
You are.
Well, sometimes. But if we're getting them, it's usually after Christmas as well. So us splitting stuff out, buying something in January, something in July, etc., stuff like that, has really helped spread it out over the budget, so it all doesn't hit at once as well.
Yeah, I would say it's food.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I stocked up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I always have, but
Yeah.
I feel like food-wise, I can do the best there. I feel like I've done really well at simplifying our meal plans.
Yes, because we used to create way too much stuff especially for us. Well, you did. I was like, you got to cut back on this.
It was too much work.
Too much. And so now we sort of what we like, what we want, and not anything and everything.
No. I can always make another side if I need it. And I don't want so much that we're having to eat on this for days and days and days. Typically, a couple of days.
Yeah, typically we'll eat on, let's say, Thanksgiving for like 5 days or so.
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
Depends on how far it goes. Once I get to a certain point, it's like, okay, yeah, we're kind of done.
Right.
But it works for us. But I would say food. But the big thing here, if you haven't noticed, there's one common theme. And this will help you manage a holiday budget better than anything else. Spread it out.
Yeah.
Spread out your food costs. Spread out your gift costs. And hold your decor budget really, really tight. And buy it at the end of the year when everything goes on sale so you have it for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Spread it out. Is probably the best thing we could tell you to do. You have enough time to start planning this out. So why we come to you now to tell you need to do this. I don't want to tell you the week before Christmas. These are our tips to help you save money, because you're not going to be able to save anything the week before Christmas.
No, it's too late then. So that's why we wanted to put this one out now to tell you, you still have time to do some saving.
You do. You have time to do saving. You have time to start spreading these purchases out. There's going to be lots of sales, lots of things you're going to keep your eye out and open. We hope. Fingers crossed. Bigger cities, you're going to see more sales.
Yeah.
Places with more grocery stores, you're going to see more sales.
Mm-hmm.
We might actually have to open up our other ads. We might have to look at Kroger and other places for actual more sales, because right now we're not seeing them at our grocery store. So I might have to look at Priceless and Kroger for more. Just to maximize our savings.
Let's see. I was going to ask, though, what do you think we could do better from a gift buying perspective, though, for next year? What could we do to change how we manage it?
I would like to have more of a game plan going into the year of what we're going to be purchasing for everybody, because a lot of times I'm like at a loss of what to get, and then I listen. I kind of like try to listen to see what do I hear people want.
Yeah.
And that makes it really hard for me because, you know, I'm kind of responsible for the majority of it. So it does make it a little hard for me to kind of keep up with it, manage it, and then trying to remember to put it back into the spreadsheet is one of the things I struggle with, because I'm like, okay, I've gotten it in its place, and now I have to wrap it and I have to put it in the spreadsheet. It gets to be too much.
And you notice she didn't say anything about me wrapping.
We don't wrap anymore. Nope. This was one of our purchases after Christmas. We bought the gigantic sacks, like the gift sacks. He has one. I have one. That's where our presents go.
Yeah.
Like a big pillowcase, but it's a Christmas sack. It's like a Santa sack.
Yeah. And
he loves it.
Right, because if you'd seen my wrapping, you would have been like, looks like a second grader did it.
I wouldn't even give you that much credit. I love you.
Well, what are you all doing to prepare for the holidays? What are you doing from a perspective of trying
to... Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done?
Yep. What are you doing to be more frugal this year? You know, leave those down below in the comments, or, you know, even if you want to send some of your ideas, you can send them to thecannycouple@yahoo.com, and then make sure to go over and check out our link tree where you can find us on all the other social media sites.
And as always, thank you for joining us on Rural Reliance with the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.